Right, now of course another thing you might see here at Tiger Day is a mini tank, because here we have Armortech, Jill and Mark Watkins, and later on they're going to be telling us a little bit more about what they do. So Mark, come on then, tell me a little bit about these tanks.
Well, this is something we've been doing for about 10 years now. We manufacture a range of models, mostly World War II,
Right.
mostly German, because that tends to be what sells internationally.
Now of course it's Tiger Day, and we do have a few Tigers behind me as well.
Yeah, you do, because there's no doubt about it. Tiger One is the most popular of all of them. We've done more Tiger Ones in kit form than we've done of all the other models put together.
Really?
Yeah. We've produced something like 800 models of the Tiger One, and they've been sold all over the world.
And we saw one rolling around just now as well, and I couldn't help but noticing it was rather loud.
Yeah, they can be pretty loud. The sounds are all recorded from the original tanks.
Right.
So the sound that you hear on the model here was actually recorded here at Bovington from Tiger 131.
So there you go.
I mean, yes, it is very much a man's world, and I suppose I'm just used to it because Mark and I have been married for a long, long time. Mark's a trained engineer, and we pretty much always work together. So although I'm not an engineer, I'm very used to being around engineering and tanks. And most of our customers are men. We do have a couple of lady customers, one in particular who is excellent at the building and actually can show the men a thing or two.
Models are all made from metal. We use aluminium, we use steel. All of the armour plate is all scale thickness. So if it was originally a very thick plate on the tank, it's a thick plate on the model. And we use prototypical construction, so if the original was cast, then the model will be cast, that sort of thing. A finished model takes about 200 hours to assemble, and they're pretty easy to put together. We've never really had anyone have too many problems with putting them together. The electronic system, some people sort of struggle with that, but generally speaking, people can cope. Finished model weighs about 140 kilos, and one of our Tigers can pull a 7.5 ton truck.
Ooh. Well, I found James here, who owns one of these lovely replica Tigers, yes? So if you could maybe tell me why the fascination with the Tiger, and why you've come here today.
It's a form of infantility. It's the fact that we haven't grown up.
Splendid.
I have had a fascination with the Tiger ever since I was a child. It was, at the time of its inception, quite an exceptional machine. I am not particularly interested in all the military aspect of it. I am interested in absurd machinery. And there's a lot of engineering cramped into this little model. Quite sophisticated engineering. I come from the world of simulation.
Right.
And I apply some of my skills into the Tiger. It's built to a very, very high standard. In any case, it's therapy, enjoyment, and a return to childhood.
So Brian, come on, tell me, why is it that you're fascinated so much with the Tiger, and why have you come here to Bovington, and tell us a bit about your model?
Well, we always come down once every year on Tiger Day, plus we come down again in end of June on the Tank Fest to display our models, and as you can see down there, we spend a lot of time and effort putting them together to show them off to the public, and generally, just have a good day out to, show what we can do for the models.
So how long did they take to put together?
Well, it varies on the individual. You can take up to a year or 3 to 4 months. It all depends how fast you want to put it together.
And do you feel that, do you get them out often, or?
Well, as regular as we possibly can, and obviously you got to fill in for work in the meantime and spend a bit of time with the wife, otherwise I get a little bit jealous.
Well, here we have Dennis. Now, Dennis, you've been very eagerly trying to point out to me your animatronic figures, and I have to say, it looks like they're having a little conversation together. Did you make these yourself?
Yeah, they're all made from 1/6 scale figures. They're actually controlled by 5 servos in the commander and 1 servo in the loader. and controlled by a microprocessor that runs in a continuous loop, and took about nearly 2 weeks to program and get it right, to make it look lifelike, basically. Yeah.
As you can see, it's very much a homage to 131, partly because as a child I came here and was enthralled by the Tank Museum, and not surprisingly the Tiger was one of the ones that stuck in the memory. And it was a few years ago, it's about 6 years ago, that I was at an event and was very much enthused by the Armatech tanks, went home, logged on to eBay, and this tank appeared on eBay, partially built, and I bought it, and from there on I've been hooked. This tank took me about 4 years to get it to the state that it is in now, and I have, like a lot of people, tweaked the basic kit.
Here with Denny, who's been desperately trying to run me over with his King Tiger for the last half an hour. So then, Denny, tell me about your King Tiger here.
Well, there it is. Cost £7,000 all up, working. Takes about till 6 months to build. You can add this, that and the other to it, and it's the biggest tank that Armatech have yet produced. And their first run, I think they did 103 altogether. It was the one that was most sought after. They haven't built any since, and they had 2 turrets. The first ones had Porsche turrets, had 12 of those, and the rest had Henschel turrets. And the original tanks in Germany, they only did 50 Porsche turrets, and the rest were Henschel turrets, because the shells got trapped underneath the turret.
Oh, which is what happened to Tiger 131, of course. Yeah. So yeah, how long did it take you to build here, Denny?
6 months, I suppose, something like that.
6 months? Well, that's not too bad, I suppose, really.
Not really, if you want to have a good go at it 8 hours a day, but you soon get fed up. The worst bit is putting all the tracks together. Yeah. Pins, washers and split pins, drive you mad.
Oh, I can imagine.
Most of the tanks here have only got 2 batteries in. I've got 4 in mine, so that if I run too flat, I've got to back up.
Well, that was another thing I was going to ask you. What do they run on? Are they electric, or do they run on... They are electric.
Electric 12-volt wheelchair motors, or 12-volt batteries with 24-volt electric wheelchair motors, one on each track. And away you go. Then you have an electric motor for the traverse, electric motor for the elevation. Then you start adding the sound, the gun flash, the machine gun. Yeah. So you can go on ad infinitum, and there's that one tank over there. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, we were having a word with him earlier on.
Men move.
Yes, I know, with all the animatronics and things. Right. I mean, it's great, and I think with the sounds, with them being electric as well, once the sounds are on, and the fumes are coming out the back, it just looks like a petrol machine.
It does, very much so.
So Denny, beg your pardon. The previous guy was Dennis. Yeah. Right, Denny. So you got a very complicated-looking set controls in front of you. So could you maybe talk me through what we've got here and how you control the beast?
7-channel. Some people use both the levers for fore and aft. I only use one for fore and back again. Sideways, forwards, one stick only, left and right, and the other stick will traverse the gun like so. Then if you go up, the gun elevates eventually, or it should do. It's not going to. Yes, up it goes. Move it around this way. And then I have another switch here that I can twist that makes different engine sounds. If you get close to the engine, it makes it start up. And you carry on round, and eventually it should go bang. There we are, it does.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to having a look at the Tiger rocketing around outside here. I hope you are as well. Come and join me.